All right, it's nice outside and it's going to get stormy soon. So I am going to go on a walk, go to the bakery. Oh, the wind's starting to pick up a little bit before the storm hits. It's still a couple days out, but the winds will start picking up over the next day or two. But it's still blue skies, so I'm taking advantage of it while it's nice. A lot of trash over there. That's going to be a problem for the storm. Definitely going to blow around a little bit over there. And look at all this debris. Goodness. I don't know how these vloggers do it, talking to themselves while they're walking. It makes them look like nutcases. Uh-oh, this cat over there is getting wild. That cat knows the storm's coming. Oh boy. It's gonna be interesting. A lot of the Halloween decorations are starting to be put up too. They might blow around a little bit. October's not a normal time for a storm. I'm heading over to the community loaves to get some bread because I haven't had it in a while, and it'd be a good opportunity to get some. Freeze it, be a nice frozen brick of bread. It's good. I have a tuna sandwich for lunch. All right, should I take a shortcut or should I go the sidewalk? I'm gonna go the sidewalk. I think this gate has been taken off of here. This place needs to be secured. They don't seem to be motivated to do it, but maybe they'll fix it. I don't know. Murray Hill floods a lot, they say, but our street's okay. At least where our house is. Other houses do get flooded. There are a lot of barricades still on the street from all the road work. They didn't blow around with Helene, so I guess Milton? I think it's called Milton. What a not scary name for a storm. Probably won't blow them around either. And I've never really seen a flood out here in Edgewood, so that's a good thing. Fortunately, we're in a dead end and the way out is floods, so we can get trapped pretty easily, but the water clears pretty quickly. Hoping it doesn't flood on with this storm, but it might. All right, that's where I'm going. Community Loaves to get a loaf of sourdough bread. Rosemary garlic's my favorite. These lizards always run across the sidewalk when you walk. Hey. Community Loaves was totally sold out of their bread. I got an order for pickup tomorrow morning. They'll be ready from 8 to 2. Paid for it already, so I'll grab it tomorrow. But totally sold out because of the hurricane. Mommy. It's like a clothing store. Yeah, so some of these businesses do flood occasionally, I think. I was wrong about the Edgewood thing. Hopefully they won't with this, but they could. Just prepare. The jewelry store always covers up their windows with boards because it's safety, right? Looting, whatever. I don't know. I don't think there's like a lot of looters here in Jacksonville, but if things got bad enough, I guess there would be, huh? I'm just gonna go, because why not? Favorite little coffee bar, the Flamingo. And then Oktoberfest just finished. The flag's up there. It's at Buckner's Beer Hall. Alright, I'm walking back this way because I forgot there were no sidewalks. Down the way, I usually take the bike. So I'm going backwards, backtracking. Is Moon River closed? No, they're just not busy. I guess people don't really care about pizza when it's a storm coming, huh? All right, so I'm walking over here and we're gonna pass Cool Air. They make manufacturing for, I think, cooling units like refrigerators and freezers and things, but they do mostly the steel part of it. Well, that car over there looks like it's out of the movie Cars. What is that? Ramirez? See it over that blue one? Pretty cool. We have a lot of road work happening right now in our neighborhood. Me and Oliver forget which streets are bad sometimes. We forget which streets are bad sometimes, and we go down them, and then it's like a mess. It's either dust or debris or cars driving in the middle, bumps or ruts. It could be a little bit of an exciting time. The other day we went down one of the streets and they were releasing water out of the fire hydrants. Oliver said it was so cool. And then we had a hard time getting around, so we had to modify our route, but he loved seeing all the water come out of the fire hydrants. When Oliver was starting to get excited about going to his new school here, Ruth Upson, I mentioned him one day. I said, "Hey Oliver, I can go for a walk and come by and wave to you when you're at recess." And Corey was there too, and she's like, "No, don't do that." And I was like, "No, why would you do that?" I was surprised. I thought he'd be excited about it, but he was absolutely not. Didn't like the idea one bit. So this vlogging thing, I think it's kind of neat. I love seeing the mundane and the normal of people's lives. And when people vlog, it's like they're talking to the people watching. They're not talking to themselves. But I can see why people would think, "Oh, he's talking to himself. What a weirdo." But you have an audience, you're actually talking to your audience. And when I'm watching it as an audience, I feel like I'm being talked to. It's kind of neat, you know? But I wonder, like, people that film themselves or me, is it that I'm self-involved, or I think I'm interesting and people should look at me? I don't see it that way, really. It's almost like a record of my existence for myself and for all of humanity, you know? To kind of document the life of a human. It's not me necessarily that's interesting. It's honestly, I just enjoy filming stuff and collecting my thoughts on video for no one to watch. I just enjoy looking at it and editing it. Oh, here's Oliver's school. I don't think he's going to be out there. I don't want him to see me. I don't want to look like a weirdo to him, his friends. This big tree fell over here, just cracked right off the top. See that? That was from the last storm. You never know what trees are going to fall. It's you just never know. And this is where they have all their supplies for this JEA, Jacksonville Electric Authority Association, or whatever it is, project for the pipes under streets. That's what all the road work is they're redoing the drainage, sewage, and pipes. So they have to strip the whole street, dig up all the pipes, rip out all the curbs, and now they're in the process of putting the curbs back and repaving the streets. The one I'm walking on now is quite bumpy. I hope they fix it too. I say quite bumpy, they did some work on it, but they didn't repave it fully. They just patch paved it, which isn't great. And the streets in general are not great here, but I think they'll repave them eventually. They just gotta get the work done first. No sense in prematurely paving streets that have more work to be done and more asphalt to be ripped up, right? It's interesting when I do this and I talk to the camera, I find myself gravitating towards complaints a lot. I don't tend to think of myself as a complainer, but maybe I am. You know, when you think of a food and you start anticipating that food and you get excited about it and what is that experiment with the dogs? You know how the dogs salivate when they see food? It happens to humans too, and I see it happen to myself sometimes, and that was what I was having happen for me when I decided to go to Community Loaves to get a loaf of rosemary garlic. I was like, oh yeah, I can have tuna sandwich and I can have this bread, it's gonna be fresh. And then they were out. Is this a complaint again? Maybe, just an observation. Anyway, I'm excited about my tuna sandwich. Anyway, but, and I got an apple Danish thing, that'll be good. Uh-oh, water. Run. I was so excited about the crosswalks going in, not far from the street we come down. And I don't really use them. They haven't opened them yet, but I don't use them very often either. And since me and Oliver bike to school now, I don't really need to. I just zip across Edgewood from Teasdale, which is really nice and efficient. He loves the bike rides. But I think we both do. It's a great way to start our day. We did it today too because no rain. So I think it's funny. This is a much bigger camera than the original Osmo Pocket, but I think it's less obvious because it's easier to hold, and so you're not being delicate with it and like kind of tiptoeing around it. Because the other one, the microphones were, there's gonna be so much wind noise. The microphones were right where your hand would go, and this one they're much higher, and I'm also wearing the mic. So I think I hold it a little less awkwardly, more like a walking stick, because it's almost that tall, you know? I really like this camera a lot. Like, I can see why it's the perfect vlogging camera, and people think you're famous when you have it, I think. But I don't think most people think you're even doing anything. They don't even notice. I might think you're a little bit weird, but maybe I am a little bit weird. Maybe their observations are correct.